Tupac's family hires attorney Alex Spiro to find Diddy murder link. By Will Potter for Daily Mail. Com. 21:58 the 4th of October 2024. Updated 23:49 the 4th of October 2024. Tupac Shakur's family has hired a prominent attorney to probe whether or not Diddy was involved in his 1996 killing. Diddy has long been rumored to have been involved in the murder, but has never been charged. In light of the mounting criminal allegations against him now, including an indictment last month on charges including sex trafficking and racketeering, Tupac's family want the case to be revisited. The family have hired prominent New York celebrity attorney Alex Spiro, who is also currently representing embattled NYC Mayor Eric Adams on bribery charges, and his team of investigators to look into Diddy's alleged link to the crime. Diddy has long been rumored to have been involved in the murder, but has never been charged. Notorious B.I.G., who was killed in 1997, the year after Tupac's murder. They are hopeful that privately hired hotshot attorney Spiro may be able to find the link that prosecutors and LAPD detectives never could, according to Court TV. Spiro made headlines earlier this year after securing Alec Baldwin's freedom in his Rust shooting trial, before also taking on Adams as a client in recent weeks after he was charged with bribery by federal prosecutors. For his latest role, he will delve into the hip-hop feud between Tupac and Diddy in the 1990s, which was fueled by an East-West rap rivalry. On the East Coast was Diddy, whose real name is Sean Combs, and fellow rapper Notorious B.I.G., real name Christopher Wallace. The rivalry was based upon Tupac, on the West Coast, being convinced that Notorious B.I.G. was behind a 1994 robbery of which he was the target. 2 years later in September 1996, Tupac was killed in a drive-by shooting in Las Vegas, which many blamed the East Coast rap contingent, including Diddy. After over 2 decades of speculation, last year Dwayne Keith Davis, known as Keith D, was charged for his role in the shooting. He is awaiting trial. When Tupac was killed aged just 25, many blamed the East Coast rap contingent, including Diddy, for his death. Diddy and the Notorious B.I.G. pictured together were on the east side of a rap rivalry that gripped hip-hop in the 1990s, with Tupac on the west side. Although Davis has been the only person charged with Tupac's murder, he has previously named Diddy as an alleged conspirator. According to a detective that testified in his case, Davis claimed, Suge Knight, who was driving the car that Tupac was shot in, told people that Diddy was responsible, if not directly, indirectly for the murder of his good friend. Just months after Tupac's death, Notorious B.I.G., also known as Biggie Smalls, was also shot in a copycat drive-by shooting in Los Angeles that was blamed on the West Coast side of the rivalry. One of the detectives who investigated the murder, Greg Kading, appeared this week on the new Daily Mail podcast, The Trial of Diddy. He spoke following a wave of allegations and criminal charges levied at Diddy, and looking back on his investigation of the hip-hop world he was part of in the 1990s, Kading said Diddy's true character is finally coming out. Spiro did not immediately respond to a request for comment when contacted by DailyMail.com. Tupac's family hires attorney to re-investigate alleged Diddy links. When it rains on Sean Diddy Combs, it apparently pours, as Tupac Shakur's family looks to re-investigate him. By William Hughes, October 4, 2024. Combs is not having a good 2024. We can say that with some confidence, insofar as Combs is currently sitting in a detention center somewhere in Brooklyn right now, having been arrested last month on federal charges of racketeering and sex trafficking. He's also apparently staring down the barrel of another 100-plus lawsuits related to allegations of sexual assault and other misconduct, most of them linked to statements about the rapper's infamous freak-off parties. Which, we guess, is as good a time as any for the family of Tupac Shakur to start asking some fresh, pointed questions. 2. The family has reportedly hired an attorney to launch a new investigation into the currently incarcerated Combs, looking into rumors linking Combs to the rapper's 1996 death. This is some fairly aged beef, as these things go. Rumors about Diddy being somehow involved in Shakur's drive-by shooting in Las Vegas in September of '96 have circulated in the rap world for nearly 30 years at this point. You can hear Eminem reference it in multiple tracks, for instance, including 2018's Killshot. They were exacerbated in 2008 when Dwayne Keith D. Davis, who is currently facing murder charges in relation to Shakur's death, and who faces trial next year, said Combs allegedly offered him money to kill Shakur and Suge Knight. Combs, for his part, has always denied any of this, and authorities have stated on more than one occasion that they've never considered him a suspect in Shakur's murder. None of which has stopped the Shakur estate from hiring New York attorney Alex Spiro, who recently made headlines serving as Alec Baldwin's attorney in his eventually dismissed Rust shooting case, to investigate links between Combs and Shakur's death. This is all per Court TV, who talked to Spiro to confirm the news. No further details about how that investigation is being conducted are being released at this time, but we're definitely in a when it rains, it pours situation regarding people looking to extract some measure of consequences from the suddenly embattled Combs.
Sean P. Diddy Combs. Court TV has just confirmed that the family of Tupac Shakur is investigating a potential link between the murder of Tupac and Sean Diddy Combs. This coming from attorney Alex Spiro, who represents Tupac's family. Now, this investigation had been previously reported by unnamed sources, but earlier today, Spiro confirmed to our Court TV team that he and a team of investigators has been hired.
Sean Combs allegedly had business dealings with Dwayne Keefe D. Davis, who will go on trial next March for the murder of Tupac. This was back in 1996. Some have speculated that Diddy ordered Tupac's death. That, of course, is just a theory at this point, and we are monitoring the developments in both the Tupac murder trial and the federal indictment of Sean Diddy Combs. So a lot of information to come on that one.
In the case that continues to roll on, let's bring in National Trial Attorney Michael Schaefer just to talk about this new news of an investigative team that is been hired by Tupac's family. We don't have more details about what they found so far and exactly what avenues they are taking to do that, but what does that say to you? What do you think is happening, and how serious is this when someone hires an investigative team in a murder trial that's being handled by authorities, but this is a private entity requesting this?
Julia, I always say, landslides don't happen slowly, right? You'll be standing on the side of a mountain admiring its beauty and glamour, and then 1 second later, you're buried in mud, right? This does not shock me. This does not surprise me. I can promise you this is not the last thing that we find out about people investigating Diddy and what he's done. This is not the first. We know of an attorney now who represents hundreds of families who are suing him for, alleged, freak offs and sexual misconduct. So what this tells me is that it's just a piling on. Pretty much people knew for decades what we're going to start finding out things that people have speculated on for decades, and they're just going to pile on, because at the end of the day, how's he going to defend himself at this point? He's got a ton of money, he's got a ton of attorneys, but even if you have unlimited money and unlimited resources, if you are sued, by 100 different people, 100 different times, 100 different theories, at the end of the day, you as a professional defendant operating from a jail cell, you cannot overcome that. You just can't do it. And people know that they can pile on. People who probably wanted to go after this guy just feared going after him because they feared the retribution. They feared that, they walk into an attorney's office, hey, I have this theory against Diddy. And the attorney would tell them, okay, do you have $1 million to pay me for me to waste my time, waste your money and go after him? No, I don't. Can you do it on contingency? No, I won't do it on contingency. Because if I do it on contingency, he's going to spend millions of dollars to crush us, right? So that's exactly why these theories have been rebuffed. Right now, people now have, any attorney will jump up and say, yeah, I'll represent you. I'll sue Diddy. I'll be on the headlines. I'll sue Diddy for you tomorrow, right? Yeah, I'll do it on contingency. At the end of the day, that's what's happening. You're going to see many, many more instances of people coming up with theories against Diddy. With respect to this specific one, as a kid growing up, I loved Tupac, and there was, when we were in high school and Tupac died, everybody said, hey, Diddy did it, right? And it was kind of like, back then it was Puff Daddy, right? So a lot of people say that. I don't know if, what the quality of this type of theory is, but, hey, I'm going to be interested. I'm going to be glued to the TV to see what happened, the connection between Diddy and Keefe D. Let's see. But at the end of the day, that's what's happening. It's a piling on.
Yeah, back in July, I think there was a report that Sean Diddy Combs had said, any kind of connection here, this theory is absolutely ridiculous, absolutely false. So we'll have to see what comes of this. But I believe we have some sound we can play, Michael, and then we're going to get your reaction to it on the other side.
So it's Pharrell, you, Puffy, Zoo, and a bunch of Southsiders. And what Puffy makes kind of an announcement Yeah, that was stupid as hell too, you know.
What did you actually hear? What was the words? Is the best you can remember what he says?
He said he'd give us anything for no music, you know.
Give us 5 names of people who would say, yeah, we heard Puffy say that.
They don't have to come from, they don't. Al, Corey, Wynn, Corey Rock, all of them would say.
Now, this was before the arrest of Diddy, Michael, but what do you take from that? I mean, it's just everything, as you just mentioned, it just keeps piling on.
Yeah, with this specific one, I'm very familiar with this exact case with this person. What you heard here was not credible, right? Even if it's true, it's just not credible. It's too old, it's too stale, it's not credible. What happens in that life is people will talk, and this Keefe D has proven himself to be the type of person who wants attention and talks a lot. And how do you get attention? The way you bring attention, if you're this type of a person, is you bring up the names of people who are much bigger than you. They say you punch up, you don't punch down. He's not going to get attention if he says, hey, my friend here, my neighbor was a person who was behind, him, and these are the 5 people that helped me kill Diddy. No, to kill Tupac. No, they'll say Diddy did it, all of these other people. So at the end of the day, it's just not credible. I don't think this is going to go anywhere. People have hunted down the cause of the death of Tupac, and now they've focused on this Keefe D guy, but I don't think other people are going to be brought into it.
Combs is currently facing accusations of sexual assault, rape and human trafficking from a number of lawsuits, as well as federal charges after a 3-count indictment alleges he kidnapped and trafficked women to fulfill his sexual desires. Now, New York-based attorney Alex Spiro, who recently represented Alec Baldwin on involuntary manslaughter charges, tells Court TV that he has been hired to investigate the music mogul and his potential connections to one of Las Vegas' most notorious murders. Shakur was gunned down in 1996 while driving in Sin City, and his homicide remained unsolved until Dwayne Keefe D. Davis was arrested and charged with his murder in 2023. While Davis has been the only person charged in the murder, he previously accused Combs of being involved in the planning. A detective who testified before the grand jury that indicted Davis said that Marion Suge Knight Jr., who was also injured in the shooting that killed Tupac, allegedly told people that Combs was responsible, if not directly, indirectly for the murder of his good friend. With Combs behind bars, other rappers have joined in the chorus to accuse him of being involved in not only Shakur's murder but, by extension, the killing of Christopher Wallace, known as the Notorious B.I.G., who was murdered in a drive-by shooting months after Shakur's death. Marshall Mathers, better known by his stage name, Eminem, raps in his new song, Fuel. Notorious B.I.G.'s death was the domino effects of Tupac's murder, like facial tissue, whose clock should I clean next? Puffs. Till he's in police handcuffs, guilty, will he step up? Mathers previously accused Combs of being involved in Shakur's murder on 2018's Killshot, where he said, Kells, the day you put out a hit's the day Diddy admits that he put the hit out that got Pac killed. Combs has long denied any involvement in Shakur's murder, and in a statement to People, a spokesperson for the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department said that Combs has never been considered a suspect in the homicide investigation. Davis, who is set to stand trial for first-degree murder in November 2024, has previously implicated Combs in the crime. In a 2009 interview, Davis claimed that Diddy offered him $1 million to kill both Tupac and Suge Knight. He claimed this stemmed from tensions within the East Coast-West Coast rap rivalry of the 1990s. Although these accusations have been around for years, they were never substantiated. Diddy has consistently denied any involvement. Law enforcement officials have also stated that Combs was never considered a suspect in the investigation. Despite these denials, Tupac's family has hired attorney Alex Spiro. He will lead an investigation into the potential connection between Diddy and the murder. Their goal is to uncover any possible evidence that could support the allegations made by Keefe D. Should new findings emerge, they may be used to pursue further legal action, including a potential wrongful death lawsuit. This move by the Shakur family reflects their ongoing quest for closure and justice, nearly 3 decades after Tupac's death. The murder of the iconic rapper remains one of the most infamous unsolved cases in music history. So, the renewed investigation into Combs could reignite public interest in the events surrounding the fatal shooting in Las Vegas. For now, Diddy maintains his innocence, and no criminal charges have been brought against him. However, the involvement of high-profile legal teams in the upcoming trial of Keefe D keep the possibility of new revelations on the horizon. The Shakur family seeks to finally resolve the mystery behind Tupac's tragic death.
As you leave the page, don't forget to hit the like bell and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching.